Alright, here are 10 more Blink-182 songs to rank, review, and discuss. I have mixed feelings about all of them. I like them, but don't value them too highly. Maybe if there weren't 50 Blink-182 songs I'd like better, then I'd appreciate them more. But regardless, if you haven't heard of any of these, I definitely recommend you give them a chance. Well, here we go, number 50, that absolute fan favorite and arguably their most popular and well-known song.
60. Benoit Balls. Wow, this is a complicated song to analyze. I will say it's the most interesting and entertaining joke song. It's also quite disgusting and unpleasant, but surprisingly, it's also a fun and halfway decent song. The subject matter is a really bizarre combination of incest and strange sexual fetishes. I remember the first time I heard this song and looked up Benoit Balls. Yikes. Not an appealing sight for a teenage boy. Honestly, the storytelling isn't great and the lines are very choppy. What the hell was he to expect that the girl under his arm wasn't the same as any girl that he had thought that he once met? I guess you can only blame fate. What a confusing run-on. Either way, it's just babbling that isn't structured very poetically and doesn't particularly flow. I suppose a twist is a mild surprise the first time listening to it. I honestly can't remember. Musically, it's decent. The ska chords are well done during the verse, though the intro is pointless and the outro sounds like a combination recycling of Carousel and Toast and Bananas. I do enjoy the main riff, especially when it's clean in the interlude with the bass. Yes, I know it's a joke song, but I still think it's decent enough overall to warrant multiple listens. I think it would create fan hysteria if they would have actually played it live before the end of their career. But they wouldn't have time to play an additional greatest hit, and we all know that not hearing the same songs over and over again live would just not be acceptable. Sarcasm aside, it's easily the best song I've ever heard about Benoit Balls. I said a wah 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 Benoit Balls wah 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 Benoit Balls. 59. Please Take Me Home. Kind of a throwaway track on the album and a so-so way to end it. It's got typical Blink subject matter about trying to make a relationship with a friend work, but of course fail. The lyrics are somewhat good, at least they're all consistent and competent. It's too easy to complicate perfectly sums up this song. The Be Strong When Things Fall Apart part is pretty damn cool, and the power chord solo is decent too. I've always found the chords during the bridge to be very discordant, though they somehow sound better live, maybe it's just me. I also enjoy the drum beat during that part, it's quite jumpy. I would call it a nice pointless little song. The 182 seconds of silence at the end is amusing, but it kind of works to confirm the pointlessness. 58. Even If She Falls. I remember listening to Neighborhoods and thinking, this is okay, not what I expected, but where's the song I love? My favorite song. Then I got to this one. Alright, last track, this must be it. Nope. It's a nice enough song, but it's kind of sappy and fruity. Other than the interlude, it's the most tranquil song on the album. It's really just okay. I mean, the song rhymes bad and mad. That should tell you enough. The chorus is mind-blowingly simple on guitar, but the drums are better than most on this album. The guitar and piano aren't impressive in the slightest, but it's obviously a last-minute track, so expectations should be too high for it. I just wish I knew that the lack of effort on these songs was consistent before I listened to it and got my hopes dashed. 57. Easy Target. This song's a good fit to the moody, girls crush me emotionally theme on the self-titled album. It's about one of Tom's classmates that got water balloons thrown at him by a girl named Holly, so if you don't know that, you're going to be pretty lost when listening, because there are some nonsensical lyrics like Southern California's breeding mommy's little monster, which might not be able to be deciphered without that knowledge, and should definitely get an award for one of Blink's most idiotic lyrics. The drums remind me of that Bay City Rollers SATURDAY Night song, and the guitar and bass don't add much to an already average one. I do like how the main riff slowly transitions to the much superior song, All of This. 56. MH418 2011. It's one of the better songs on Neighborhoods, but still suffers from the reoccurring problem of incompetent, random, and ununified songwriting. So what you have here is a good song that is completely meaningless. I can't think of any other way to describe what the song is going for. Is it about not living in the shadow of a helicopter? I hope not, because I have no idea what the hell that means. Maybe it's about saving your money for hired guns? It might be, but I have to figure out what the hell that even means first. It's a major problem this song has, and it's distracting. It has way too many ideas in it, and none of them go together at all to form an essential theme, and some of them are utter nonsense. And it's a shame because the vocals are nice sounding, especially if you hate Tom's voice in this album since he's not in it at all. And the rest of the music is alright as well, although there are some times you can tell it wasn't recorded in the same studio because they sound so badly copied and pasted. Like right before the second, Nothing Takes Root in This Barren Soil. Anyway, it's too bad there's not an interpretive handbook for this song, because then I might be able to listen to it without getting a headache over trying to understand it, and why they decided to be unbelievably lazy and pretentious in their songwriting for this album. 55. Here's Your Letter. The most profane track on the self-titled album, which isn't really saying much. The song isn't particularly great, mainly because it lacks a coherent and unified message and lyrics. The idea of providing a letter of the most personal difficulties you have to express to someone is an interesting concept and fits along with several other tracks in the album, but this song doesn't really do a good job of exploring that. The ideas expressed become too vague, and the song has that random interlude that whines about inner turmoil and ends up making the song a forgettable mess. The guitar relies on Tom's typical B-structured setup and doesn't do much but provide chord after chord. The drums and bass are also average. I will compliment Mark's vocals and give them credit for being awesome. It's just too bad the words he says are incoherent nonsense.
Oh well, it's not like this album is lacking in amazing songs.
54. Cacophony. Many of the songs on Cheshire Cat are decent or slightly above average, but are unfortunately forgotten about or disregarded because they are on this album that never really gets any recognition or playtime during concerts. This is one of those songs. It's not excellent, but it's certainly good. The music is very melancholy and reflects the inner turmoil of the dichotomy of love and hate and commitment. It's especially great if you've ever been in this exact situation because the lyrics are very real. Those first lines, when you talk about tomorrow, I'm not sure about today, when you tell me that you love me, what am I supposed to say? It really captures the emotion of being in that awkward situation when your partner wants more than you. You don't really want the commitment and want to escape. It's not exceptional, and a lot of parts are average like the chorus, but I still think it's extremely underrated. It has such a dreary, apathetic tone that matches well with the lyrics. 53. Obvious. This track is just another angsty Blink song. At least it's well constructed and passionate, which is more than can be said about some of the earlier songs in this ranking. There's nothing really special about it, so there's not really much to say about it. Tom has a girl that messed with his mind, tried to make him jealous, boned some other guys, and now it's obvious that they should be apart. Therein lies the problem. If it's obvious that they should break up, then there's nothing in the song that supports the relationship should work, then there doesn't really need to be a song about it. Everything seems to be wrapped up, it's all worked out, so there's no conflict or struggle. It's too logical to be one of their more angsty songs. Also, the ending harmonies are too similar to Feeling This, but not anywhere near as good. And it was an odd choice to have this song follow it, considering it makes the comparison that it was a recycled idea and style all the more obvious. 52. Waggy. I think this is the best Blink-182 song about jerking off. Either way, it's an above average for their discography. I like the opening line, wishing that I could take back all those words that meant nothing that I didn't say. Very deep. The vocals are also pretty cool. I like the overlapping harmonies that follow the I don't want to live this lie again line. The guitar sounds like half the other songs on Dude Ranch, especially Lemmings, but that's not really a terrible thing if you're looking at the song as a part rather than a whole. I think it's a good song. It provides a relatable experience to those who are sex-deprived adolescents. 51. Dysentery Gary. This is quite the angsty song. It makes you picture this girl as an incredibly deluded tramp and Gary as a poser scumbag. It's kind of a more angry and vulgar version of Mutt. The song isn't winning any awards for complex lyrics and probably has some of their worst. For example, he's the player, diarrhea giver, try to grow his hair, friends and listen to Slayer. And, I hate you all, your mom's a whore, where's my dog, 'cause girls they're such a drag. Are just a large why. Maybe these bitter, immature insults reflect the true, unhidden anger of the narrator, but I just find them to be really stupid. I will give this song some credit for that interlude that marks such a soft, sudden change in the song, and then immediately brings it back to where it was by suggesting the guy get fucked. I think it's a good song to listen to if a girl hurt you, and you want something to indulge your feelings of hate and maybe amuse you, but other than that, it's just an average song on Enema of the State.
And that does it. I'm officially halfway done. The best 50 Blink-182 songs to finish off. I'm going to go off on a bit of a rant on number 50, but after that, it'll probably be all positive criticism from here. If you haven't already, subscribe and like it up, and stay tuned regardless.